The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning, I'm Isabel Khaleesi, and this is your news update to 10:30. Last night, the leaders of BC's three main political parties squared off in a televised debate. NDP leader David Eby, Conservative leader John Rustad, and Green Party leader Sonia Furstenau talked about their views on healthcare, housing, and BC's overdose crisis. Some of the highlights of the night included Rustad bringing up troubling stories of what he's seen around the province. This includes seeing a man dead from an overdose on the streets of Vancouver.
For people dying on the streets, whether it's from crime or whether it's drugs. I was on my way over here, and at the corner of Robson and Hornby, there's an individual who died. And there was emergency people rushing. This person died from an overdose. This is the British Columbia that David Eby has created.
Meanwhile, Eby spent a lot of the debate discussing Rustad's divisive viewpoints on certain issues.
Disasters are going to happen. Decisions have to be made. And it's important for people to know the values of the people who are running to lead the province. And if you're informed by conspiracy theories from the internet, if your candidates think that vaccines cause AIDS, that makes us all less safe when the emergency happens, because the decisions that are made are not based on science or best practice. They're based on rumors and YouTube. Doesn't make any sense.
And Furstenau believes that the best way for BC to move forward is to not give the NDPs or the Conservative Party a majority government.
What these two are offering is either more of the same or back to the past with John Rustad, who's been in the legislature since 2005, who is part of the government that cut services, that cut funding to education, that took away the help and supports that people need, so that we find ourselves now 23 years downstream from a BC Liberal government and 7 years downstream from an NDP government that hasn't been willing to do enough to change things. That's why we need Greens in the legislature.
Election Day is October 19th, and advance polling starts this Thursday. In other news, Vancouver's City Council is upgrading their definition of what heritage is. In a press release, the council says they've approved upgrades to the Vancouver Heritage Register. These upgrades will make it easier to add buildings to the register and broadens the idea of heritage beyond a Eurocentric design and history. The new evaluation criteria will now extend beyond physical elements and consider other factors associated with the place. Considerations include cultural traditions, memories and lived experiences, a person, community, or organization, and certain designs or materials. The council says they have made these upgrades in order to better reflect the rich diversities, history, and culture that makes up the city. And in the States, Hurricane Milton has dropped to a Category 4 storm again and is expected to hit the Gulf Coast later tonight. The U.S. National Weather Service says the storm surge heading to Tampa Bay is forecasted to be about as high as 3.5 meters. Officials are continuing to urgently warn residents to evacuate the area and head inland away from the coast. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says thousands of National Guard members have been deployed from Florida and other states. And in the wake of this upcoming hurricane, Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly is telling any Canadians that are in the Gulf Coast to listen to local evacuation orders.
You've heard it many times, it's a question of life or death. So people need to follow the evacuation orders. It's really, really important. And we're there to assist anybody that has questions or need help. Of course, Canada stands ready.
The Tampa Bay area hasn't been directly hit by a hurricane since 1921, and officials say the destruction will be devastating. And Nobel Prizes continue this week, with a trio of scientists winning the 2024 Nobel Prize for Chemistry. American bioscientist David Baker and UK researchers John Jumper and Demise Hassabis were awarded for their work on decoding the structure of proteins and creating new ones. This discovery allows them to predict and even design unusual proteins and can bring advances in areas such as drug development. And weather today is going to be a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 16 and low of 9. And that's been your news update to 10:30. I'm Isabel Khaleesi, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Trettenero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zach Arabko, and here's your sports updates to 10:40 a.m. The Vancouver Canucks make their season debut tonight against the Calgary Flames. Canadian press hockey writer Josh Clipperton says what all Canucks fans are thinking going into the season.
The Vancouver Canucks have an unsettled goaltending situation with Thatcher Demko's status up in the air. We're not sure when he's going to be able to play.
The Vezina Trophy-nominated goalie missed training camp and all but one game of the playoffs last year, dealing with a rare knee injury. Rookie goalie Arthur Shelovs and Kevin Lankinen will start the season sharing the net. Head coach Rick Tocchet has not announced the opening day goalie yet. The Flames will be starting Dan Vladar. Puck drop is at 7. Speaking of NHL goalies, 2 of them got paid today. Newly acquired Linus Ullmark signed a 4-year, $33 million extension with the Ottawa Senators, and the Seattle Kraken extended Joey Decord with a 5-year, $25 million contract. Both deals kick in for the 2025-26 NHL season. On to the baseball diamond.
And he swings at the first pitch, launches it to right, back Castellanos, Pete Alonso, back at Citi Field, 1-0 New York.
This blast by Pete Alonso began the scoring for the New York Mets' 7-2 Game 3 win over the Philadelphia Phillies. The Mets can punch their ticket to the NLCS with a win tonight against the Phillies. Mets pitcher Sean Manaea says he looks forward to possibly winning the series at home after being Game 2's winning pitcher.
We just got to win. That's all that really matters. If that's here, it'd be amazing. But if not, then we just got to just finish the job.
Jose Quintana takes the mound for the Mets against Ranger Suarez of the Phillies at 2:08. The San Diego Padres continued their offensive onslaught of the Los Angeles Dodgers with a 6-5 victory last night. Fernando Tatis Jr. capped off a 6-run second inning with this swing.
On an 0-2 pitch, a missile. Fernando Tatis Jr. electric.
The Padres can clinch their spot in the NLCS tonight as well with the win against the Dodgers. Padres outfielder Fernando Tatis Jr. praised the energy of their fans after their 6-run second inning.
The energy through the roof, especially that type of inning that we build. After 2 outs, it was just momentum, and man, there's definitely a beautiful finish at the end of that inning.
The Padres will be starting Dylan Cease on the mound to take on the Dodgers bullpen at 6:08. In the American League, Game 3 of the 2 ALDS series will be played this afternoon. The Guardians and Tigers lead off at 12:08. Alex Cobb starts for the Guardians, and Keider Montero starts for the Tigers. And then 2 of baseball's best hitters, Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr., face off as the New York Yankees and Kansas City Royals prepare for Game 3. Clark Schmidt starts for the Yankees against Seth Lugo of the Royals. We will have baseball updates throughout the day. The NFL's 2024 third overall pick, Drake May, is set to make his first start. The Associated Press's Gethin Kuhlbach has more.
The Patriots are planning to give first-round draft pick Drake May his first pro start in this Sunday's home game against the Texans, according to an AP source. The team hopes to end a 4-game losing streak under veteran journeyman quarterback Jacoby Brissett, who May is replacing. May made one previous appearance for New England, coming in at the end of a Week 3 road loss to the Jets and going 4 for 8 with 22 yards. Brissett had completed 79 of 135 passes with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in 5 starts this season. I'm Gethin Kuhlbach.
The Minnesota Lynx returned to the WNBA Finals with an 88-77 win over the Connecticut Sun. Forward Nafisha Collier led the way for the Lynx with 27 points and 11 rebounds. Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve reflects on the Lynx making their first final since 2017.
I mean, I can't tell you how badly our staff wanted this for them. We've all experienced it, as you mentioned. But this group it's just been a really special group.
The Lynx will play the New York Liberty in the WNBA Finals beginning tomorrow, October 10th. Thank you for listening to 1680's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.